So today's video is going to be about the 2023 Mercedes Benz S-Class. In the last couple of videos, I've covered how to navigate the website, getting used to the sizes and trims and models in some of these cars, and also going through that build option one time to really get familiar with what this website does and how it helps you in terms of researching your purchase. So we're back on the MBUSA website. We've clicked through the vehicles, and then we're jumping right into the S-Class. So the S-Class being that big full-size sedan that I talked about in the last couple of videos, it's their flagship model. In terms of luxury, that's what Mercedes is known for, and the S-Class kind of speaks to all of it. So we're already on the right page. We've skipped past those couple of steps, being that we're getting more and more familiar with the website. So we're here on the configuration page. So now that we're here on the configuration page, we have to choose what engine size we want. We're going to go with the S580, just given that it's the biggest and best model in terms of your price and packages availability. It's the only one, just for note, that comes with the executive line. So the S500, the S580E are the other models available. They come with a 6-cylinder versus the 8. So the S500, just to go over it quickly, 429 horsepower versus the S580E being 362. Now the thing to understand is that also is adding another 148 horsepower with the electric motor. So you have to consider two numbers there. This model for the 580E is new for this year. It has the 3-liter turbo 6-cylinder, and it also has the plug-in hybrid electric motor. So you do get some range on electric drive, which is kind of cool, and if you're looking for that, if you're not ready to go all electric. So now the last one, the S580, is where everyone's familiar. It's a 4-liter V8, it's turbocharged, and it has the power, it has the get up and go, and it's that one man, one engine where you have the signature plate under the hood. It's what Mercedes is known for. So we're going to go ahead and click on the V8 model. So now that we're at the trims, you'll notice that you have 3 choices. This is the first time Mercedes has really done this to really simplify your purchasing experience, introducing trim lines. Most of the time in the past, you'd have to go pick your model and you have to pick specific packages and features, while this gives you a just all-around better understanding of what you're getting and what you're purchasing. So the first being the luxury line has most of your features. The thing to understand is the S-Class, mostly everything is standard. You're not going to really find anything missing unless you really don't want the executive package. So luxury line, standard, has everything. You get into the AMG line in the middle, that's your sporty version. If you do want the sportier bumpers, the stylish wheels compared to the normal ones, given that they're really nice. It also includes brushed stainless steel pedals, floor mats, and I believe you have options for a different steering wheel, just to like the flat bottom kind of sportier one. Now jumping into the executive line, that one has everything the luxury line has, but it's adding in like $16,000 worth of features in terms of luxury. Warmth and comfort packages, rear seat executive packages. It also has the 10-degree axle in terms of the rear wheel steering. So you do get some really nice features on the executive. We're going to go ahead and build a AMG to stay right in the middle. So now that we've navigated to our vehicle page, we can actually see the 3D model like we did before and kind of build on that or take away from that depending on what you're looking for. I've gone ahead and selected a outrageous color for an S-Class, I think, but I've seen it in person. This color is fantastic. I'll throw up a picture of me with the G-Wagon at one of the training events where I got to see it in person. It's a really cool color in person. Personally, I would buy it and just show it off, knowing that it's probably just for me. But so the China blue is the one I'm talking about. Now there's tons of colors with the S-Class. You have to definitely go through and pick your right color. Everything from matte finish paints to your pearl whites to your black, blues, burgundies, they're all there. So definitely really think about that. That's going to be probably one of the hardest choices going forward. For me, we're going to jump right into the wheels. We've gone over this, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker than I normally do. But you have 5 choices for the AMG, all the way up here, where it still will give you that notice, hey, if you add this, you will need to add this package. So we're going to go ahead and add the largest 21-inch wheels. That one includes the night package, and it gives you right away, it tells you what that looks like. So we're going to stick with that in the China blue. We're going to go down. It's going to, hey, we already got the night package. Do you want a spoiler? Do you want it painted or black? We'll stick away from that. Do you want the star set? Which if you click on it, it'll tell you, hey, you get a license plate frame, valve stem cap, so it's a little bit more chrome on your vehicle. And then the wheel locking bolts, of course, for those wheels. Moving over to the interior, you'll jump right in, and it gives you that same 3D outlook of what you see in the car. Obviously, S-Class, we're talking top of the line, just about everything. Now, standard is Napa leather, where those are a premium option in the other cars. So you'll see we have, it looks like 8 options in terms of interior. Now, I chose blue on the outside, so what do? The sienna brown, do we go for red? Um, what would be the option? I think I'm probably going to stick with just black, but we have to see what the red looks like. It's going to tell me I need warmth and comfort package for the red, but we'll get into packages in a minute. So that's kind of a nice red, but do I want a blue and white, like blue chrome and red car? Probably not. They also have a silver and gray, or silver gray, I apologize. Now blue with the gray is pretty sharp. I think I'm going to want to stick with that. So you kind of see this gives you that chance to pick and choose and really balance what your build's going to be. In real life, if I ever got the opportunity to buy one of these, I'd probably buy black, just all black. It looks fantastic, especially in person. Um, Trim line, we're getting into the wood grain right across the dashboard behind the tablet. You have that kind of glossy luxury wood. They have the anthracite fine line wood. You get into these piano lacquer flowing lines, which I'm a big fan of, especially if you have a white or a black interior. I think it's a really, really sharp look. And then you have the walnut wood with aluminum lines that go vertical. Those in person look really nice. And then of course you have like that black and silver blended stainless steel that comes with the S classes too. It's more of like a carbon fiber kind of look. I think I'm gonna go with that poplar wood. It's that little like glossy chrome wood, mainly because it goes around the steering wheel. I think that's a really sharp look. Now automatically, because I chose that color, it gave me the warmth and comfort package. So those things. Now, if you're a cold person, my wife can probably attest that she would absolutely love this. So you get heated seats all around, cooled seats all around. Now we're talking front seats and back seats. Heated steering wheel, which you absolutely need. Now the rapid heating seats is something that I'm a fan of. You're not waiting for it to heat up. It's almost like within a few seconds you know that the seat's heating up. Big thing is armrests actually heat up, and then there's an energizing comfort feature as well. Where that's going to give you fragrances and mood changes. It's kind of in the backside of the features. I think it's really neat, but in use, it's one of those things that personally I don't know if anybody would use. The steering wheel. So I just talked about this a second ago. AMG line does have a different steering wheel. It comes with that wood wrap steering wheel, and then you have the normal Napa leather without the wood. You do get to choose your center console if you want to match that black or black dotted, and the all-season matte. So that really does it for the interior. Most of the things, like I said, they're standard, so you don't have to choose those things. They just come with it. So if you're getting an S-Class, you're really getting everything Mercedes has to offer without purchasing a lot extra. So now when you get into the options screen, there's a few more things that's more of a convenience feature, I'd say. So personally, if you've ever had a kind of 3D Nintendo in the house, your kids, your family, they have that 3D screen without the glasses. They build that in actually to the heads-up display as also the screen that's in front of the driver's seat. Now it's not intense and it doesn't wear you down in terms of your eyes, but if you do like a little 3D effect in terms of that screen, it's something you definitely have to see in person. 100% recommend coming into the store and saying, hey, do you have this? Can I take a look at it before I order it? But it comes with some really neat packages, so I'm going to choose that just so we can talk about it. First being the augmented reality heads-up display. This is great that they put this picture up because it's hard to describe. But when you have your windshield, it's going to project all of this information subtly, I will say, into your windshield. So you have speed limits. You don't have to really look down at your dash. You can kind of pay attention to the road. And then the big one for me is if you use navigation, you can see this blue arrow. It actually overlays that arrow right onto the windshield. So it's almost like putting you into a video game of sorts where you have the arrows telling you where to turn. And navigation, I think, is a huge step in terms of like just pushing that technology forward. Heated steering wheel, like I said, is included. The 12-inch 3D instrument panel is also part of that package. Now the ambient light system, I think, is amazing, so you definitely have to get that. The comfort box, if you've seen these, they're great. It's a storage box that drops down. I personally wouldn't have any use for it, but if you know you'd have to carry a laptop or something and you want to throw it in the trunk, that's a good place to do it. Now your audio. So Mercedes standard comes with the 3D like Burmester system. They also offer this kind of out of this world Burmester high-end 4D surround sound system. This is sound on another level in your car. It is a hefty price tag for what it offers. $6,800 is not something you think about spending in a car, but if you are a person that loves music, and that is what you do when you're listening and sitting in your car, Burmester kind of has you locked in. So this is a huge package. So I'll kind of read it and go over it with you. So analog to digital amps, they deliver 1750 watts over 30 high-end speakers, including 6 3D speakers into the cabin of the car. There are dual body integrated front bass subwoofers, a trunk mounted subwoofer that has its own 400 watt amp. So in terms of your sound, right? Your music is going to be the best, clearest sound you've ever heard. And if you've ever been into a high end audio, or if you love surround sound at home, if you can afford this, if you love your sound, please buy it. You will not be disappointed. It also takes into consideration that there might be other people in the car. So in car communications, there's 5 preset modes, seat specific VIP options, ear level speakers for discrete voice commands. They're also included. So you'll have speakers that actually are in the back of the seat. So if you're using like Hey Mercedes features in your car, it'll actually give you still that control while listening to your music, so it's not overwhelming. In this build, we're going to throw it in because it's cool in our dream build for this vehicle, and you can see it kind of already in the picture. It puts those speakers up so you can see what that's going to look like. And I don't know if it'll let us see, but there it does. So you'll even have speakers between the sunroof up here. Now that is pretty cool that they show that in this build here. Now the next section is going to drive down a little bit more. Now again, this is the safety section. We've talked about this before in Mercedes. Now the S-Class has most of those features standard. So everything that you've seen in the other cars, like, you don't have to worry about. This giant list of features is all standard. So like the driver's assistance package, for example, I talked about in the last video, that is built right into this car. It's not something you pay extra for. The thing that you do have the option for is the e-active body control that hopefully their salespeople tell them about. This e-active body control is a innovative fully active suspension that delivers uncanny composure. E-active body control can scan the road surface via a stereo camera and adapt the suspension to each wheel to minimize body motions. Basically what that means is your car is essentially having its own sonar that's reading the road to know bumps are coming before you actually hit them. So it can kind of prepare the car to stay steady because it knows the road before it's actually running over the road. It's not reacting, it's preparing itself beforehand. So benefiting from the 48 volt electronics, the system can quickly counteract lean, pitch, dive, and even tilt into curves to reduce forces felt by the passengers. It can also augment the pre-safe impulse side benefits by quickly raising the body slightly in an impending side impact. Now that's something that's really cool in terms of safety. If the car senses there's somebody about to T-bone you, it can actually raise the car up in anticipation of that impact to protect you guys inside the car. So that's a really neat feature. That's one of those things, if you like the Airmatic suspension, this is that next step in terms of keeping your car level, keeping it comfortable, and it's worth the technology bump and worth the price tag. Now this one's a really neat feature. Like I talked about in the executive package, getting a 10-degree rear axle steering. They don't just cut you out in terms of the AMG, they offer it as an option that's no cost. So if you like that kind of idea of big long car, being able to turn at tighter curves, making making things a lot easier, definitely an option to click into because it's there. It's something I'd really recommend in terms of these cars and maneuvering them in like downtown city areas and smaller parking spots and garages especially. So we've gone through that. Now here's our really, really beautiful blue S-Class car with that silver gray interior. It's going to break down our options again, telling us our base price, telling us how much our color and optional features costs, and everything that we've added, telling me that my build today is $162,300, and I've really loaded this thing up. Now this is an AMG line. We could go up another $15,000 if we did the executive package with all of the backseat things. I'm a driver. I do prefer driving my car, so if I were to get an S-Class, my kids will be the beneficial people in the back seat, and I don't think they need tablets. They have iPads, they have phones, So I think I can save myself 16 grand and maybe buy them a new tablet. And this would be the build. So you'd share this, save it, email it to your sales consultant that you're working with. So if you're working with me, for example, you'd send me this and say, hey, Victor, I found my S-Class, I built it, I want this China Blue, I want these wheels. And then I would respond by asking you, okay, if there's something you can give up, I'm going to look for the perfect car. But let's talk about what if you can't get this. Do you have alternative colors? Do you have alternative wheels? That way, while you're on the phone, ideally, you're already on the website, so you can click back, and I can tell you, hey, what about the black wheels? How do you feel about those? Or what about the 21-inch non-night package wheels? Like, would that be okay if I can find it? That way, I have a one-to-one customer experience without them having to like be stressed out or not know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about different wheels, seat colors. If I'm on the phone with them, I can typically pull up right on the locate that if there's one available in that color, what it has, and we can go over in the same conversation what that car has and lock it in if it's available. And that's pretty much the entire build. So once you have that set, so you can save it, you can share it, print it out, email it to your sales consultant, get them on the phone and say, hey, did you get my email? Can we talk over my features? Or if you come into the store, we can pull up the email and go over that in person and then try to find the car or order the car. So ideally, if you're looking like this and you know you want a 2023, first thing to see is if we can find one. Because if I have an S-Class here at my store and there's one in, let's say, New York, I can call that store and say, hey, I have a customer interested in this, can we trade? And I can get the car 2-3 months faster, sometimes 4 or 5 months faster than waiting for the car to be built. So if there's a perfect one out there, take the shot to get it. I mean, it maybe cost you a little bit in shipping, but it can save you months in terms of waiting. So we're pretty much done. This one was a little bit quicker because we're getting used to the website. So as you get used to this and we go over the models, we can really start just focusing in on the features of that car versus just plainly how to navigate the website, and it makes things a lot easier for everybody. So the S-Class, again, you can range between the 126 to 170 range before getting into the My Box or any of the kind of specialty versions, and it's an amazing car. It is a full-fledged luxury sedan, and I'll jump in one. I'm going to cut over to a video, me sitting in one of them, so we can talk about what that looks like in person, and you can go over with me some of what that S-Class looks like, not on the webpage. So with the weather the other day, I couldn't really do the walk around that we wanted to do. So today I'm out here with a S-Class that I could show you and go over just how beautiful these cars are. So this one is in the Kalahari Gold. So it's not a color you see too often, but the Kalahari Gold S-Class with the tan interior. And we're gonna go ahead and get inside so I can show you just what you're looking at. Now just imagine going through that process where you order your car, you wait the time, or if we find one, and then you get here and you see it in person, and it really does make that difference. Now I hoped to have or be able to find something in that blue, but that blue is definitely a car you have to order, so the gold will do. This one is also a unique color. You don't see too many of them in this one, but here, I'll flip the camera so we can take a look and go through the car. So we're gonna go ahead and get in there too. So here's that Kalahari Gold for that S-Class, and you can see these cars are just like they are in the picture, just beautiful big luxury cars. So getting inside, this is that experience you get when you open your door. So you have the door handles that pop out as you walk up, and you open the door and you're kind of presented with that full-on S-Class experience. We'll zoom out the camera a little bit more so you can kind of see what we're talking about when you see these in person versus the picture on the website. And it does good, but just not the justice you'd really want to see. Like, you can really see the quality in these cars. Now this one's the S580. It's has the Napa leather, that beige interior, and then things like the double sunroof, the Burmester 3D audio. It doesn't have the 4D audio. And then this one has that wood-wrapped steering wheel. So here we are, finishing up the video on the S-Class. If you've hung around this long and you go through this process, hopefully this could be you one day, sitting in this seat, getting your car, picking it up from the store, and just experiencing what it means to purchase a Mercedes and going through the whole process. At some point, we'll hopefully do something really cool, like talk about the European delivery service, which is a whole nother level.
But I appreciate you guys for watching if you've gotten this far. Again, comment with any questions, concerns. Thanks for watching. Take care.